All right, hey, Kairos Network, Pastor Matt coming to you from Florida. And the update's a little late this month because after a few months of living here, we're actually having to move again. So the house that we rented, which was a huge blessing when we first got here, 6 houses away from my in-laws, ended up having huge plumbing issues. I'm talking so bad that they actually are gonna have to go inside the house, bust up the floors. And so it was just one of those deals where we realized we could no longer rent here. So just a few months after we move in, we're forced to move out with only about 10 days notice. But it's okay, because in the midst of the challenge, it's been crazy to feel the peace that God's given us in this time. And we've gotten to see some incredible things happen in this process. Number one, we launched the church at 10:02 a few weeks ago. And I don't know if you realize this, but shooting a message for the church at 10:02 is a little bit different. It takes about 10 hours a week to launch one of those. So I found out at the beginning of this week that I had to move out, find a new place to live, and all this other stuff. And so I was talking to a friend, Seth Gierke, who at one point I wanted to actually have preach, and he's like, well, hey, I can preach this week if you need it. Huge blessing. And Seth's message on Acts 2 this week was incredible. But more than it being incredible, the thing you didn't see was the fact that just him doing that message last minute was a huge blessing to me and my family. So it was the church being the church, which is really amazing to see. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the at 10:02 church series that we're doing now, it's the first thing that we launched out as a way to support micro churches, micro groups, with some great preaching and teaching. But the series itself has been a blast. And that series actually caused us to launch our first micro church right here in Melbourne Beach. That's right. And it kind of accidentally launched. It started as just a watch party for the church, and now it has turned into our weekly church gathering. So our church now in Melbourne Beach is a micro church that we're a part of, which has just been incredible. And it's incredible because it coincides with the launch of our brand new missional pathway. We've been working on this and talking to you about it for about 6 months, right? And a lot of times people are like, well, what's the missional pathway? Well, this week I had a chance to share the whole back end of it in a video. I'll link it in the description below so you can check that out. But here's the cool thing. So far, there are 29 people signed up for the missional pathway in 4 countries. That's right, 29 people across the United States and in 3 other countries are signed up to do this missional training, and more are still signing up. We're launching our first cohorts in September. So if you're a part of supporting, whether it's praying for the Kairos Network or actually financially supporting the Kairos Network, you're a part of helping us launch this missional pathway out. And I'm excited because those are 29 people that want to train and learn how to not just be on mission where they live, work, learn, and play, but they also want to learn to start micro churches. So that part is really cool. And then the other thing that we're doing and up to is that we're doing a missional, a preaching training with Matt Popovits. We're doing with Matt Popovits Ministry a thing called Preaching That Connects. And so we're doing a whole online training that launches in September. And along with that, we're going to be doing a cohort that launches in October. So we've been launching out 3 big things, and we've got one more on the horizon that next month I'm going to be really excited to talk to you guys about. But in the midst of the challenge, and I think that's the biggest thing, is a lot of times and I'm a very positive person, so you'll hear me say all the exciting things that are happening, all the great things that are happening. And to be honest with you, sometimes I'm not that great at just saying, hey, by the way, here are some of the challenges. So you're getting to see firsthand some of the challenges, because if you've ever moved a family of 5 out of a house in 10 days, you know the challenges. That's been one of the big challenges. Another big challenge is just missing all the friends and deep connections we had up in New Jersey. We still miss them. We wish we could have been around them all summer and continue to be around them, but God had other plans in store. So sometimes in the midst of the great things God's doing, there's going to be some challenges and some obstacles along the way. And to be honest with you, there's been a bunch of moments where we've been like, are we doing the right thing? Is this the direction God's leading? And then all of a sudden God opens things up. So We don't know where he's leading. We don't know how he's leading it, but we're getting to see him do some really cool things. So I don't know where you're at, but if you're in the midst of a challenge, just trust me. Challenges, it's a part of the journey, especially when you're walking in faith and you're trying to follow where God's leading you. So I just want to encourage you in the midst of those challenges, because in launching out the Kairos Network and getting to launch out 1002 Church and the new 1002 YouTube channel, there's been a lot of challenges along the way, but I'll be honest with you, even in the moments where God has felt distant, God has been really good. He's been there with us. And so I just want to encourage you in that. And I want to thank you for all the partners that have come along to be in prayer for us, to help us in this process. And even in those moments where we don't know what we're going to do, to step in and say, you know what? I can help you like this, like my friend said. So thanks a bunch, guys. It's been great to have the opportunity to just share an update with you. I want to thank all you supporters. I want to thank my family here in town. That's been so amazing with childcare and helping us transition. God's doing some amazing things. And if you'd like to be a part of them, you can click and subscribe to the Kairos Network YouTube channel, follow these updates. You can join our prayer team. And of course, one of the biggest things we need in this season is just more supporters to come along and be a part of financially supporting it. So if you'd like to learn more about that, man, reach out to me through the email. I would love to connect with you, and I can share more of what we're doing and how you could be a part of supporting the things God's doing through the Kairos Network.